Okay, now I'll tell one thing. So for list, if I have to create a list, I said we have two options, right? Two options, right? If I have to create a tuple, we have two options. Yeah, but in order to create a set, an empty set, you have one option. Right now, yes, we have three here, right? The way I create a empty list is using a list. I create a empty set using a tuple. I create a tuple, empty tuple using a tuple function, and an empty set using a set. Now, what is this? As in, like, can I just use a square bracket? Why can't we just live with the square bracket? Why are we using list? Why can't we just live with the tuple and just an empty tuple with parentheses? And why are we using tuple? Right. Now, there is one good usage of this. This list, right, takes a parameter. If you don't pass a parameter, it is fine, but it takes a optional parameter. Takes a optional parameter. Same with tuple. Takes a optional parameter. I'm calling it as iterable, right? I'm calling it as, one moment, iterable, right? Or same with set also. It also takes one parameter, right? It is also iterable. So what is iterable? Any data structure, any data type that can be iterated over, right? So if I say A is equal to ABC, and if I just say list of A, right? So this would, right? String is iterable, yes or no? Can we loop through string? Can we loop through strings? Will it first prints A, then prints B, then prints C? This will print 0, 1, and 2. First print 0th index, first index, and second index. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I can use the index approach, or I can directly loop over the string. So anything that I can iterate over is a iterable. So I can iterate over a list. I can iterate over a tuple. I can iterate over a string. I can iterate over a set, right?
Yes,
These
sir.
are all iterables.
Yes, sir.
Now here, what am I saying? A is equal to ABC, and when I convert this ABC and pass this iterable to list, this will create a new list with each character as one element in the list, with each character as one element in the list. If I say tuple of A, this will also create a tuple as one element, each character as one element in the tuple, right? I can give set of A also, right? This can also create a set with each element from the string. right? So now I have a list. So these are the things. Now I have a list. This is my list. Now I want to eliminate duplicates from the list. I want to eliminate duplicates from the list. How can I remove all the duplicates from the list? How can I remove the duplicates from the list? How can I remove duplicates from the list?
Don't know, sir.
Which is the data structure which doesn't allow duplicates in the list, duplicate elements?
Set.
Set, right? Set also takes a iterable.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Y is equal to set
Set
of
of
x. I
X.
am passing my x, right? And if I print y,
Y.
this will have 1,
1,
2,
2,
4,
4,
6
6.
by eliminating the duplicates. And again, if I have to convert this into a list, x is equal to
List
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 Y.
of y,
Y.
right?
Oh,
Yeah. So this is how you can
Yes.
eliminate duplicates from a list. You can remove duplicates from a list, right? First, I converted the list to set. Now we know set property is to not allow duplicates. So set will remove the duplicates. And later I have converted the set to list using the list function. Using the set function, I converted a list to a set, right? And I converted set to a list. Right? Simple. I have a list. This is my list, right? So if you see, this is my list. Now I want to eliminate the duplicates from it. Set of A, done. So why? Basically, I removed all the elements and contains only Unix. Right now, I will say again, I'll convert that to set to a list. And if you see my X, do I have only unique elements here?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Right? If you see, A still contains all the values, right? But using a set, I converted all that. We have passed that list A to a set function, and it gave only Unix. And that unique values, I converted it back to the list using a list function, and I have stored it in the X. And that is why we were able to eliminate all the duplicates from the original list. Clear?
Clear,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes,
Clear.
sir.
Right? How can I convert
Yes, sir.
this list X into a tuple type? Tuple of X, done, right? I converted that list to a tuple. Right? It always, this tuple or a list or a set will always return a new set. If I'm using a set function, it returns a new set. If I use a list function, it returns a new list. If I return a tuple, if I use a tuple, it returns a new tuple. But they take a parameter and creates a tuple or a list or a set out of it. Right, are we clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Clear,
Right,
sir.
so if you see here, my A is still there, right? Now what I'm going to do is list of set of A. Now what will be the output here?
List only, sir, without duplicates.
Right, it creates a list without the duplicates. First it is converting a set, right? By A parameter is passed to a set, it returns unique values from the set function. That output is passed into the list, right? From there it creates a list. First we convert A into a set by eliminating all the elements, and then the output is passed as an input to the list function, right? That would convert that set into a list, and there we go, we get this output. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, going back here. Right. Another new concept that we'll get introduced to today is dictionaries. So dictionaries will start tomorrow. Now let us try to solve the bubble sort. Let us try to write a program to solve the bubble sort. So whatever the program that you guys have written, can you please put that into the chat box, please? Right. One moment. So let me say I have a list like this. So what should be the first operation here? So we always start with the first number. So let me just say, right, for I in range of, for I in range of len of A, right? If A of I, right, A of I lesser than, okay, so let me just say if A of I greater than A of I plus 1, A of I plus 1. Okay, then in this case, we want to swap the elements. We want to swap the elements. Where what do we want to do? A of I is equal
Is
to
equal
A
to.
of I plus 1. Okay, that got interchanged. That got interchanged. Now this will throw a index error. Why? By the time it reaches I as the last element, and that is the last element, let us say that is the index, in this case 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. By the time it comes to index 5, the I will be 5 and we are trying to get a 6, A of 6, and here we don't have a 6, then it throws index error. That is the problem that you have. That is the problem that you have, right? So how
Yes,
can we
sir.
avoid this?
So instead of plus, we are using minus there.
Instead of plus I minus 1, because you can go to a minus 1 again, there also you will end up having a same problem.
Yeah, okay, sir.
What do you think? How can we solve it? Right? Can I just say, right, instead of A, len of A, can I start here len of, okay, instead of this len of a minus 1. Can I stop my loop here? That way, if I do reach to the plus 1 also, I will still be at the end of the list. So I'm saying my iterations I will stop here, but my comparison can go till here. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. If I have to rewrite this program, I'll erase and make it right. So here len of a minus 1. Right. Now this program will not throw any error. So what we do in the first iteration, a of 0 is how much?
3.
3, sir.
3, sir.
Please.
3.
Right, 3, and greater than a of 1. 0 plus 1 is okay. Let me just keep it this way. My I value is how much? Initially my I value is
0.
0. So our comparison goes like this, right? A of 0 is 3, a of 1 is 1. Is 3 greater than 1?
Yes,
True.
sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. True.
True, sir.
Right. In
Yes,
that
sir.
case, what are we trying to do here? We are swapping. We
Swapping.
are swapping. So if I do
Swapping.
this, this is also not the right swapping. So what I should do is a of I, comma, a of I plus 1 is equal to a of I plus 1, comma, a of I. Do you remember that we have done this? We have seen this example. Or
yes,
for
sir.
easier understanding, let's use a temporary variable. Let's use a temporary variable. Okay, so in this case, what are we trying to say? If that is a true, right? So I'm going to temp variable, so which basically stores a of I value. Okay, in this case, what am I going to say? A of I is equal to a of I plus 1. Done. And a of I plus 1 place I want to store a of I. Sorry, not a of I. So which means in the first iteration, now remember our list was something like this. 3, 1, 0, 7. 3, 1, 0, 2, 8, and 7. Now I compared is 3 greater than 1. It said true. Now in the temp variable, I have kept my a of I, which is 3. In a of I, I'm storing I plus 1, which is 1. So which means a of I is 0. In the 0 place, I'm removing 3 and placing 1. Okay. In I plus 1, in the first index, I am storing the value that I stored in the temp variable, which is 3. That is what happened in the first iteration. Are we clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now second iteration. What is my iteration number in now? Iteration number is 1.
1.
Now what is there in my first index? 3. Right? Is 3 greater than 0? What is my I plus 1? I plus 1 is, what was my I? 1. I plus 1
1.
is
1.
2.
2.
2, sir.
Right? Now I'm comparing the value from the first index and the second index. This is my first index and this is my second index. Is 3 greater than 0? True or false?
True.
True,
True.
sir.
Right? In this case, a of I, right, which is 3, I'm storing it in the temp value, right? This 3 is stored in the temp value, and a of I plus 1, which is 0, I'm storing it in the first index. And in the second index, I'm storing 3 with this logic. Okay, then again, my iteration is 2 now, right? I have my third iteration, the index value is 2. Now I compare index value 2 with index value 3. Is 3 greater than 2?
True.
Yes, sir.
True,
True,
sir.
sir.
True. Then which means I have to swap the elements as per this large logic. It will swap the element. So 2 is here, 3 is here. Now iteration 4. I compare 3 and 8. Is 3 greater than 8?
No, sir.
False.
False,
False.
sir.
Then it will not do anything. No swapping. That's it. We went to the next element. Now here is 8 greater than 7?
True, sir.
True,
So
sir.
8 greater than 7. True.
True.
In this case, we will swap the elements. In this case, we will swap the elements. 7 will be placed here, 8 will be placed here. So at the end of the loop, you have the greater element at the end. You have the maximum element at the end, which is 8. We were able to bubble the maximum element to the end. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Clear,
Right.
sir.
Now this is like, we were able to do with only the one loop. I still have to loop through this one more time until I get the minimum. I sort it completely. Now I ensured that the maximum element will come to the end in the first loop. So in this case, how many times I have to loop this? Until I get all the elements are sorted, until all the elements are sorted, which means I need one more loop on top of it, That is, I'm going to rewrite this for I in range of len of a. I'll just take my a here. Okay, I'll just write randomly. This is my array. Okay. Now within this is one outer loop. This is the outer loop. Within this, I need to write my loop, which is for j in range of len of a, minus. Okay, so if I minus I, okay, minus 1 I'll do, then I'll tell you minus I the problem there. Okay, here it is a simple thing, right? Temp is equal to a of j, right? And a of j plus 1 is equal to okay, a of j is equal to, okay, one moment. A of j is equal to a of j plus 1, and again a of j plus 1 is equal to temp. A of j plus 1 is equal to temp. So if by the time this loop runs, right, the first loop iterates and ensures this loop ensures the maximum element will go to the end. Now this loop ensures that it will iterate for each element. It will iterate for each element. Okay, so which is our list is something like this, right? So by the end of this iteration, it will ensure, right? So first iteration, what will it do? We'll compare 8 and 4. Yeah. Which is greater?
8 is greater.
8 is
So
more.
which means we swap the elements here. So we'll place 4 here and then we'll place 8 here. And then we'll compare 8 and 1. Which is greater?
8.
Right? 8 and 1 would be there. Again, we will swap the elements. So we'll place 1 here and we'll place 8 here. Again, 8 and 9. Which will be greater?
9, sir.
9.
Right? 9. Okay. Then again, I'll compare 9 with 7. Which is greater?
9, sir.
9. 9, sir.
So obviously I'll swap the elements. Since 7 is first and then 9. I'll compare 9 and 6. Which is greater? 9 and 6, which is greater?
9.
9 is greater.
9,
So when
sir.
9 is greater, we will swap the elements. So we'll place 6 and we'll place 9. So by the end of the first iteration, the way our list looks like it is 9. So what we did in the first iteration, we were able to get the maximum element to the end of the list.
Yes, sir.
Right now I have to still ensure that I have to sort this portion. I still have to sort this portion. Then what will I do? 4 and 1, which is greater?
4.
4, sir.
4, sir.
Right. So I'll have to swap this. Again, 4 and 8, which is greater?
8, sir.
8. So hence we will not swap this. 8 and 7, which is greater? 8 is
sir.
greater and hence I have to swap. So I'll put 7 first and then 8 first. Then 8 and 6, which is greater?
8, sir.
8.
Right, 8. So when 8 is greater, then I have to swap it. So I'll put 6 first and then 8 and then 9. Right, you see by the end of the second iteration, two largest numbers came to the end. Now I have to sort only this much. Yep. Now if I have to sort this, I will sort. I'll compare 1 and 4, which is greater? 4 is greater, so I'm not going to swap it. And again 4 and 7, which is greater? 7 is greater, so we are not going to swap it. Now 7 and 6, which is greater? 7 is greater and 6 is smaller, so then we have to swap it. And again 7 and 8, which is greater? Right, 8 is greater, so we are not going to swap it and we'll keep 8 and 9. Right, by the end of this, you are able to get the sorted list properly. You are able to get the sorted list properly. But what you noticed, right? So every time in every iteration, right? First iteration, we should ensure that the maximum element is at the end. In the second iteration, we ensured that second maximum element is also at the end. The last two elements are already sorted. In the third iteration, the last three elements are already sorted. So do you think, right? Do you think every time here instead of 1, can I just say this? Instead of length minus 1 minus I minus 1, I will say. So in the first iteration, I'm going to iterate from. So in the first iteration, what is my value? Right, so length of array, I'll tell you, let's say length of array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I going to say in the first iteration? 6 minus 0 minus 1. So it will be 5. Maximum index is 5. So which means 4, 1, 8, 4, 1, a. Okay, hold on a second. 8 4 1 9 7 6. Right. So in this case, what am I saying? Right. So the maximum 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5. Right. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So here, if it is the 5, right, the range of 5 is between 0 to 4. The iteration will happen between 0 to 4 and I plus 1 will be 6. We are good. In the second iteration, the value would be 6 minus 1 minus 1, which will be 4. Then the iteration would be 0 to 3 and the plus 1 will be 4. Then in that case 0 to 2, 0 to 1, 0, right? So in this case, by the end of these many iterations, you will ensure, I mean, this program will ensure that the elements are sorted properly. The program will ensure the elements are sorted properly, right? Can we try this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Going to write a simple sort program here. Sort, and this will take a list. This will take a list. Okay. For I in range of len of L. That is the input value, right? For j in range of len of L minus I minus 1 if L of j greater than L of j plus 1, which means I'll have to swap. Swapping, you need a third variable, right? Temp is equal to L of j, right? And L of j plus L of j is equal to L of j plus 1. Then L of j plus 1 is equal to temp. Okay, that's it. They should sort it. Okay, my list is equal to 4, 1, 5, 8, 10, 0. This is my list. Okay, now bubble sort, I'm passing that list here and I'm printing the L again after the sort. Okay, if I execute this now, is it sorted?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is my input 4, 1, 5, 8, 10, 0. This is a sorted one 0, 1, 4, 5, 8, 10. Right now, if I just change the values also, it is fine. I'll add more values to it. Right, 4, 100, 2. I'll place somewhere 3. Right, 6, 7, and 8. Right, and I'll place 9 also here. Right, so if I sort this, what should be the value? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100. This should be the sorted elements. Let us run and see. Did we get the elements sorted? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100.
Yes, sir.
This is a very simple sorting program. Bubble sort, very important. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right. All right,
Okay,
then
sir.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right.
Okay, sir.
So your homework is understand this program and also, right, and also write quick merge selection sort program for selection sort.
Okay, sir.
Right, selection
Yes.
sort is another sorting algorithm. You have to, just like bubble sort, there is one more thing called selection sort. Okay, you have to write a program for selection sort.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. So understand this and also write a program for selection sort. So these programs are very important for interviews. People will ask you a questions on this. People will ask you a question on this, and you should be able to do it. Okay.
Okay,
All
sir.
right then.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.